What's up, guys? This is Dalton here with my friend Braden, and we got invited a little while ago to go to Nashville to see a certain movie. Braden, what was this movie we got to go see?
Okay, so the movie we saw was Do You Believe? It is a movie put out by PureFlix, which are the same guys who did that movie you may have heard of last year called God's Not Dead. And they also distributed the movie Old Fashioned, which came out back around Valentine's Day.
Yeah, so 3 really good movies, and the synopsis of Do You Believe is simply this. A pastor is encouraged by a street preacher to really ask that question of, do I really believe? And if I really believe in the cross of Christ, if I really believe in what God has done, then how am I going to make that different in my life? How am I going to portray that? Is my life going to be different? And so this pastor challenges congregation to take a stand for Christ and ask that question of, do you believe? And so the story simply goes through these lives of all these different people.
Yeah, it follows about, 12 different people?
Yeah, about 12 different people. And so today we just want to give you what we liked, maybe what we didn't like, and then give you a rating at the end and either tell you not to go see this film or to go see this film. I'm going to start with what I liked. And what I liked about this film was simply the fact that I felt like it was very well directed and it was very well orchestrated. It just had a good pace, had a good rhythm, and everything went together and stuck together. And there's so many Christian movies you can go and see that are quote-unquote Christian movies, and a lot of them just either maybe are not good, being honest, maybe not good, or maybe they're just not well thought out or well planned. And this movie was just so well directed and so well orchestrated.
Because you think about, like, when you've got 12 different characters that you're focused on, it could be very easy for you to, overshadow one with the other, or spend more time focused on this one and you don't really get to know this other character. But it was all really well put together as far as it was connected.
Yeah.
What I really liked, since we're talking about the characters, is just the variety in the characters. None of the characters felt the same to me. I felt like each one was their own person, and I feel like that's a great thing, because when you go see this movie, I'm going to say that pretty much anybody who watches this movie will connect to at least one of these characters for that reason, that it's just so diverse. And I think that that's actually going to open up a great opportunity for this movie to reach a wider audience and to get the message spread more, because there are, like I said, so many characters that with different backgrounds and different stories that you're going to connect with someone.
Yeah.
So it touches people all different backgrounds, which I think is great.
Yeah, I mean, I completely agree with that, and that just, it's so cool, the fact that I can sit in that movie and get touched in so many different ways. And another thing I did like about it, before we get into the negatives, is that the fact when I watched this movie, I really felt like there was a sense of realism, which goes back to the direction, which goes back to everything. Yeah. I felt like there's a lot of Christian movies you can see where, like God's Not Dead, for example, where at the end, the guy is victorious and everyone stands with him and says, you know what, God is not dead. And that's good in thought, right? And we pray and hope that in real situations, that every single person in a classroom would stand up for Christ. But the reality is some won't. And I liked how this movie handled where some people are going to leave with either a Christian faith or a stronger Christian faith.
Right.
And then some people will leave not believing. And I think it's so awesome that they were willing to do that, because there's going to be people...
Show multiple sides of that coin.
Yeah, because there's going to be people watching that movie, and it's going to be asking that question to them. And they're going to be that person in real life that would say no, that would say, I don't believe in God. And now they're seeing that person in the movie portraying that. It's very powerful.
Right.
So I'm glad they did that. But now let's get into what we didn't like. Now, we really liked this movie.
Yeah, it was really hard for us to really pick anything that was just poorly done.
And being really nitpicky here, and we can't really go into detail about it because it would give away spoilers, but talking about this realism in the movie, there is one scene at the very end, something that does happen in real life, but the way they handled it, I did not feel like, I think it made you, as an audience, ask more questions than I think they actually expect you to ask.
Right.
And so for some people who were probably getting really spoken to a lot throughout this movie, may be a little, I guess, not fascinated with that one part.
Yeah.
But besides that, I mean, man. Anyway.
Yeah. I mean, that's really the only thing. Like I said, that's kind of being nitpicky with it. Is in that last scene, it could have just been handled a little bit differently, I think, and been just as powerful, if not more powerful. I honestly think. But like I said, that's us getting right down to. I feel like we gotta say something, so it's not like a completely biased thing. But there's really just a lot that was done well with it.
Yeah, so we really like this movie, and one thing we want to encourage at the end, before we give our rating of what we thought the score of for this movie, we really want to leave with the fact that there's not many movies. We've even reviewed one on Embrace Heart where I couldn't sit there in when I'm talking to you and say, this is a Christian movie. I couldn't do it.
Typically a movie is, you either see the Christian ideas presented throughout it, or it's a movie that's got themes that are a little bit Christian, but it doesn't really. But anyway.
Yeah, but we would definitely say this is a Christian film.
Yeah.
We would definitely say this is a film to take youth groups. This is a film to take family members.
Right, and we can say that because the fact is that the gospel was clearly presented, not just once, but multiple times throughout the movie. It was very clear what the message was.
Yeah. And so it's very powerful, and I think it's going to really impact a whole lot of lives, and so we want to make sure people go see this film. So if you have a youth group, you have a church family that would love to go see this, go see this.
The only warning that I would say is you may, if you have younger kids, you might want to be a little cautious about it. There are a couple of scenes that are kind of intense. Nothing that just takes away from the film or makes it a bad movie by any means. It's just some things that, if you got younger kids, it might freak them out a little bit.
Yeah, they may not understand it because it is really real. Like I said, this movie is real. This movie gets into things that would happen in everyday life, and so sometimes things that happen in everyday life is a little scary.
Right.
And so just the fact if you have a younger child who might be easily scared, this movie may not be, certain parts of this movie may not be for them.
Right.
But anyway, we're going to leave off with our score, and then with a little thing at the very end. If I was going to give it 1 out of 5 hearts, I think I would give it 4.5 hearts.
I agree. That's what I would say too, 4.5.
And so we both say we give it a 4.5 hearts, which is pretty much really, really good. There's great and there's good. 4's good. 5's great. This is really, 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 really good. To the point of I could say great, but then I feel like I'm being biased. So we really encourage you to see this film. And something really cool they gave us, and this is in the movie, is these crosses. The pastor makes these crosses and gives it to his congregation, and essentially challenges you and says, if you truly believe in this cross, what are you willing to do with it? If you know what Christ really has done for you, and you truly believe this, are you ready to live it out? Are you ready to take up your cross? And so it was really cool when we left the movie theater after the screening. They gave us these crosses and truly asked us that question, which we want to leave with you, is do you believe?